I have KiLynn King here with me. We're going to be talking about NWA Hard Times 3, NWA Hard Times in New Orleans. It's coming up on November 12th. Uh, Originally, we thought you were going to be facing Kamille. It was going to be, I don't want to call it a full circle moment, but, a highly anticipated rematch. There's another variable in that match in the form of Chelsea Green now. So, we'll talk about that addition too. But how are you feeling going into the match? You're just over a week away from getting another shot at the Burke.
I mean, I'm definitely feeling very prepared. I think, Camille and I had a lot of things going for us the first time around. We both trained in the same place, had a lot of similarities, but this time we both evolved a lot. You watch any of Camille's matches lately, and she's always bringing surprises to each and every match. So I'm prepared for that. I've got some new tricks up my sleeve as well. And I think the fact that Chelsea is in this match now is only got me even more motivated because, you know, people want to try and throw themselves into the hat without actually winning anything. But that just motivates people who are actually winning things and working hard to push even further to find that victory and call themselves the new champions. So, um, strategy wise, I'm just going to keep my eyes open and just make sure that I work smart because Camille and I have already proved that we can beat the crap out of each other. So now it's just a matter of keeping my eye on the ball and making sure that I work a little bit smarter this time.
Uh, I kind of get the feeling, based on how you answered part of that, I mean, is it fair to say that you kind of wish this was still a singles match with Camille? I mean, Chelsea used her championship series title shot, so it's her right to be in the match. But you know, is there a little bit of you that wishes she wasn't in there?
I mean, I pride myself on being prepared for anything. So it is what it is. We're gonna have fun regardless. But I do have a feeling that Camille and I are gonna be taking a little bit of frustration out on Chelsea because she could have used that opportunity at any point. This was a round two for Camille and I. This was a chance for her and I to step in the ring and push each other even further this time. And again, like you said earlier, have a bit of a full circle moment. And now Politic and Chelsea wants to come in here and get herself in this match. And it's like you could have waited until the match was done, saw who was the champion at the end of the night, and then gone for your title opportunity. But no, she decided to insert herself in a match that was already made because everybody knows that when the more people there are in a match, the more likely there is a chance for everybody else to lose. You know what I'm saying? It just takes one quick moment to find the victory. And she's trying to take advantage of that because I guarantee you she's not going to get that victory on her own if she gets it. She's going to use us against each other. I guarantee it because that's how Chelsea works. So, do I wish it was still a singles match? A little bit, but not because I'm not ready for a triple threat, not because I don't enjoy my triple threats, because this moment wasn't supposed to happen. It was supposed to be Camille and I, and now I feel like it's kind of being taken away from us a little bit. So,
An interesting dynamic that we'll have to wait and see play out in the ring. You mentioned having some tricks up your sleeve, and there's been a lot of talk. I've seen in other interviews you've done, obviously asking about training with Billy Gunn. So I don't want to ask the same question, but is there like a more subtle way that you maybe want to, not that what you've learned from him, but maybe that you emulate him in a certain way that, maybe it's something you've done before or something that you want to work into your repertoire?
um, I mean, one of the things that Billy always pushed for me was just to work my strength more, to be more aggressive, to be more. Uh, I'm trying to think of how to say it for myself, just to be more intense. And I think sometimes I rely too much on other things because I enjoy all aspects of wrestling. And in these past couple of months, if you followed any of my matches, especially some of my bigger matches, I've been tapping into that side of myself. I've becoming much more innovative. I've been tapping into my strength a lot more and my aggression a lot more, as opposed to just relying on the fancy part of wrestling. And it's showing. Whether I win or not, I leave an impression everywhere I go, and people are starting to realize that. So I definitely think Billy's passion to bring that out in me is finally coming to fruition. And not to mention, like, I've been evolving my moveset, I've been evolving my strategies a lot more. And I pride myself on being a very good, having a very good brain when it comes to multi-man matches, because I've been doing multi-man matches since day one of my career. You know, the first year of my indie career, I got put in triple threats every other weekend, and
Mhm.
I've become very good at strategizing for them. So I think I definitely have that going to my advantage, not to mention my strength. And I know Kamille has strength brought to the table too, but I don't think Kamille does multi-man matches as much as I have. So I think I have that advantage to me. And I've already beaten Chelsea before, so I have no doubts I can do it again. So there's a couple different things going into that. But in regards to Billy, I definitely think that some of the things that he powerful way, and I think that's going to present itself at Hard Times 3.
You've talked in the past about people seeing you as a powerhouse wrestler. You kind of just alluded to tapping into that more, but one of the other things I've kind of noticed, you've been making a lot of different indie appearances. You've been on AEW, NWA. Obviously, we're here talking about that, and then you just made your New Japan debut. It was United States, but it's New Japan Rumble on 44th Street. Would you consider yourself a journeyman or a journeywoman wrestler? Like you're making this year alone, 2022, you're appearing for 3 national, worldwide known companies and all of these different indies. Do you see yourself in that way? Is that something you aspire to be?
Excuse me. It's definitely something that I've aspired to accomplish. Yeah. Um, I kind of knew that my career in AEW wasn't going to become a contractual one. It was just one of those things where after a certain amount of time, you just kind of know. Uh, so when I made that realization, I was like, you know what? Screw it. I want to be everywhere. And you can't really, you're not really going to be 100% sure if that's going to happen, but you work towards that goal.
Mhm.
And this past year, I've just been working my butt off, making sure that my face is all over the place. And I think that method worked because, like you said, I ended up in NWA. And then just last weekend, I was able to find myself in a New Japan promotion working Mayu Yatani. Not only working her, but working her for a title shot.
Mhm.
That's for the SWA World Championship. That's an incredible debut, in my opinion. So, um, and it's one of those things too, where it's like that's an opportunity that I hoped would happen, but I wasn't 100% because we're getting close to the end of the year. I
Mhm.
was like, all right, I did a lot of cool stuff. And then when they reached out to me and said, hey, are you available to state? We want to book you against Mayu. I was like, all right,
Yeah.
here's another one to add to the list. Let's go. Um, so my hope is that I just left a good impression, and hopefully I'll be back to do some more work with them, because that's definitely been a huge goal, is to be involved with Stardom and New Japan and all that.
Mhm.
So yeah, I mean it's one of those things where the wrestling world is a very I feel like it's less now about getting a contract and more now about where's my face going to pop up kind of thing.
Mhm.
Like, why limit myself to one place when I can conquer all over.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what my journey this year has been, is where am I going to pop up next kind of thing.
Mhm. Uh, so there's nothing confirmed as far as a return to New Japan. Just right now, hopefully it works out.
I talked to the people who booked me afterwards, and they said it's definitely not going to be the last time. So we just got to see what happens, because it's one of those things where it's like they have so many shows, so you never know what's going on.
Yeah.
So I just gotta wait and see what the next opportunity is. But I'm definitely still in contact with them. It's just a
Mhm.
matter of seeing what ideas they have for me next.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's fresh. It just happened. So, plenty of time to get
Mm-hmm.
onto the next one. But what about as far as like
Absolutely.
AEW? I know you were there August, like the end of August. So any
Yeah, was it August? I'm good with them. As far as I know. It's just one of those things. Like I said earlier, I have a good working relationship with them. I love everybody there. It's just one of those things where they don't really have anything for me.
Mhm.
So I just, I go off, I bust my butt and do my thing. And then, if they have a spot or an opportunity for me, then, like that's kind of how August went.
Mm-hmm.
I hadn't been there in probably 5, 6 months, I think it was. And I just got a random text message saying, hey, we want you on Dynamite.
Mm-hmm.
And we worked out the details and we made it happen. So it's one of those things where the work relationship and the personal relationship is still there. It's still open, but I'm just not contracted to them. I don't have like a permanent obligation to them. It's just, they know me, I know them, we're good. And whenever they have an opportunity for me, let's do it.
Yeah, and it was a really good spot to come back in, because I remember
Oh yeah.
when it was announced, there was your match, and I'm blanking on the other segment, but it was like those two things got more attention than anything. It was like, all right, KiLynn's back, and it was really
The
cool.
the reaction, because it's one of those things where anytime you step away from a place, no matter what the circumstances are, you always, when that place is giving you a constant, uh, when it's bringing constant attention to your name, you always get that panic and that worry. Like, if I step away from here, are
Mm-hmm.
people going to forget about me? Are they going to care about the other stuff that I go off and do, because this was the place that was giving me a lot of attention?
Mm-hmm.
So I was really worried that they were going to announce me and people were going to be like, who? So when they announced it and that I was going against Tony Storm, and the internet blew up, like I can't tell you, like I was literally at the gym. Like I had gotten the text message early that afternoon, confirmed it, went to the gym later on that night as Dynamite was on TV, and then all of a sudden my phone just blew up. And I just got, like, between social media and text messages, I just like so much love, and it was really, really cool. And I was like, wow, people are so excited I'm back. This is a nice feeling. So for sure.
Credit to you. I mean, for having that following. You kind of, talking earlier about getting your face anywhere you can, and putting yourself out there, like that sort of proves that what you're setting out to do is working, because you got that reception, and it was
Really
really cool to
cool.
see, because most, for that, it was announced on a Wednesday, and then the following Wednesday, like, all I saw on my timeline was like, Mother effing King, and like all, different stuff, like excited to see you back. So, it was cool. It was cool to see.
My excuse me, my goal was always like, because I really didn't have much of a career before I started with AEW. I'd only been wrestling for like a year and a half, 2 years on the indies. So a lot of my fan base was drawn in through AEW. So once I stepped away, I was like, I need to make sure that I take the little fan base that I have right now and I grow it, and I make people realize, like, yo, it's not just AEW, it's me. And so I just worked my butt off as much as I possibly could, and somehow the kingdom grew, and I was really excited to see that announcement really, like, just took off, and people were very excited about that. So it was definitely a great, great feeling.
Yeah. I'll get you out on this. You talked about, tricks up your sleeve, adding stuff. Is there a match that you would maybe pick going into Hard Times 3, Hard Times in New Orleans, that you would say kind of represents what you're trying to cultivate as far as who you want to be as a wrestler, or maybe one that you feel like shows that you're a complete wrestler since the last time you faced Kamille? Anything come to mind that you would sit down a fan and be like, here's what you should be watching, here's what you're going to get?
I mean, if you go and you search for me, you see that I get in the ring with a lot of different styles. I get in the ring with a lot of different wrestlers and a lot of people that bring different styles, and I always try to adapt my style accordingly so I can, survive and stand a chance in the ring no matter who I'm against. Um, Honestly, like, be prepared for anything, I guess, is the best way to put it. Um, I mean, there are some matches of mine that kind of showcase a little bit of everything. My match with Ray at Mission Pro, that was one of the first times that people got to see a more technical side of me. Um, my match with Marina Tucker, when I beat her for the CCW Women's Title, uh, even the one I have with her in the steel cage. I know we're not in a steel cage, but you definitely see a bit of a more of aggressive side of me in that match. Um, but I mean, yeah, I mean, it's like I said, like there will be some good old classic King moments, like I always bring to the ring. But my goal this time is to bring something that nobody has seen before. So maybe something that has never happened in my matches before. You never know.
Okay. I like it. Creating new memories, creating new moments, kind of bringing things around. Chelsea's using her opportunity to kind of sneak in, so you're going to sneak in some stuff that gives you more of an advantage. So there you go.
Exactly.
Uh,
Also, I guess I'd say too, any match that I have that's a triple threat match.
okay.
Yeah,
There's you said you've been in a bunch of them.
yeah, there's a lot out there.
One that I'm thinking of, I cage match helped me on this one, but there's also a cage casket match at the pay-per-view too. So you had one with Genocide and the Woad
That's
for
right.
Mission Pro.
Yeah.
So maybe it'll help Max. I don't know. I don't know if they need any help, but you know.
I was about to say, I think Max has got that one on her own.
Yeah. But again, thank you for the time. It was good catching up with you. NWA 3, NWA Hard Times in New Orleans is November 12th. Uh, I hope we're getting to do this again in the future, and you know,
Absolutely.
maybe you have some gold to Burke over your shoulder when we do it again.
I'm a big believer in manifesting, so I will say that the next time I see you, I will be the new NWA Women's World Champion.